Good morning. Today is Tuesday, February 19th. It's a beautiful sunny morning here in London. Despite the reputation London might have, it actually is pretty sunny here a lot of the time. And I'm excited to get outside. I think it's going to be close to 60 degrees today. I have no idea what that is in Celsius. It's one of the few things I haven't learned and adjusted to here is learning my weather temperatures in Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. But, we do the best we can. I am headed off to class in just a few minutes. Today is Tuesday, so I have my Gender in the Study of Politics class, which is a class I really have been enjoying. So much so that I'm going to be writing my dissertation about a topic that has to do with gender and has to do with participation in elections. So I'm excited about that. But that's not what we're going to talk about this morning. This morning I want to talk about something I've been thinking about since my qualitative methods class yesterday. So in class we have kind of this ongoing conversation about what data is, how do you collect the data that you need to do the research, and how you how you interact with the data that you're going to be using to write whatever you're researching. So for master students like us in the class, how we're going to use data to write our dissertations. And part of the conversation that we revisit we've been revisiting throughout the term is this idea of needing to get out into the field and collect data whenever possible. As my professor talks about, it's, in this digital era, it's really easy for researchers especially to just, sit in their offices and use the internet and all the available resources, which are vast and plenty, to collect data, to analyze data, to do all of their research, and then never have to go out into the field to collect their data or experience kind of the environment where the data is coming from. But our professor really talked about this idea that, whenever possible, we need to, quote, leave the home office and get out into the field. We need to observe, interact, and be in the world where the data is. I guess where the data is a plural, but whatever. And we need to go and do that because it is important to be in the world, and it is important to understand the data in the space where it's coming from, and it is important for you to understand your relationship to the data by being in that space and being able to really think critically about what the data is telling you, and not just from the comfort of a desk in a city that's thousands of miles away from where the actual events, the things are happening. And I was thinking about this more broadly in terms of my experiences here in London. I feel like 5 months ago I left the home office. And almost a year ago now, in March of 2018, I made the decision that I was going to leave my home office and come to London. And really, like most researchers, I had a set of questions that I was hoping to answer. I had a few hypotheses that I was considering, and some of them had to do with the work I'm doing in the studies I'm undertaking in public policy, and questions that questions about the world that I'm interested in spaces I want to continue to work in. But also then there was questions and hypotheses about myself, and things that I want to know about myself and want to experience that, in my home office at home in Wisconsin, in the comfortable life I was living there, I wasn't getting answers to. And for, 2 or 3 years before I decided to move, I could feel those questions kind of pulsating in me, and I could feel the pull and the need for me to go out into the field and put myself in a new environment, in a new place. I'm sorry, I'm referencing my notes down here. And to experience something brand new. And the amazing thing about, getting to come to London is that I have left my home office. I know Wisconsin can always be home. I know, how to live a happy, comfortable, successful existence there. But that was not enough in the moment for me. I knew I had questions I needed to answer for myself. So I was able to come to London and start collecting data, and some of the process that's, happening while I'm here is while I'm doing my studies, I'm obviously, doing my work, but then I'm also doing a lot of self-reflection and trying to understand what I want and, the things that are important to me and how I'm going to, after this kind of gap year, can you take a gap year when you're 32? After this gap year, what that means for how I move forward and the things that I want to make sure are in my life. And I was thinking about this also because, I've had some good conversations lately with some friends back home, and I've been thinking about like the immense amount of privilege and luck that, I've had to be able to come to London. I know it's not something that everyone can afford to do, whether it's, a cost or time or, other, health or life restrictions. People can't just up and move to London like I did, especially, as you get a little bit older and are a little more established in your life with families and things like that. It's hard to get up and leave the home office and experience something new and different and collect data in new and different ways about the world and about yourself. But even still, I was thinking about just how important it is for people to try to find ways to do that anyway. And, I would encourage people whenever possible to find a way to leave the office for a little bit. It doesn't have to obviously be something as extravagant as me moving to London, but the idea of, a weekend by yourself somewhere, even if it's just in a different part of the city where you live, going on a trip for a few days. And the idea of like going by yourself too, which I know is uncomfortable for a lot of people, but spending time by yourself and immersing yourself, kind of like in the quietness of your head, but then in the loudness of the place that you're visiting. Visit a city that you haven't been to, visit a place you have been to, but go by yourself and explore it at your own pace and at your own time, and really think about the way you interact with the world and what you find valuable and what you find interesting and what you don't like and what you do like. Find things that you want to bring into your own life and things that you might want to change, and, meditate on those things, and really, find it as a way to know yourself better. Maybe you'll find that you really like who you are and where you are in life, or maybe you'll find something big or small that you can start to incorporate into who you are and how you want to live your life. Again, referencing the notes that I have. So I don't know. I was just thinking about like the power of leaning into unknowable questions, or questions like you kind of know, but you don't really know, and you're not going to know the answers. And like sitting in the discomfort, like I've been uncomfortable since I've moved to London with, not having all of the answers I want yet. But the idea is like, I'm in the field and I'm collecting the data and I'm doing the work, and it's not always easy and it's not always fun, but I'm here and I'm learning, and that's been extremely valuable. And I think anyone anywhere can be somewhere and be learning, but it's a mindset and an intention. So yeah, I don't know. The home office will be there waiting for me and waiting for all of us when it's time to go back. But when you can, get into the field and experience something new and different. That's where my head is today. This was an insanely long video, and I did it in one take, so that's good. I'm eventually going to learn how to edit things. I learned how to put a little title card on yesterday's video, so that was exciting. Yeah, and I don't know, I have to go to class now, but I hope you have a good day. Make good choices.